What's up, everyone? Do you know, I really felt like doing a throwback to What's Up?
Don't you just feel a certain intro sometimes? Like sometimes I don't even do what's in my head, but I have something planned, but then I always forget it. But regardless, greetings and salutations.
In fact, I feel like we should do a competition of who can do the best like announcer voice for the weekly roundup. So I'll go first.
This is Natalie.
I love how I said I'll go first, but by all means.
And you're watching Force of Light Entertainment. That was pretty profesh.
Hello, this is Michelle and Natalie, and welcome to another weekly roundup. There we go.
See, mine was more newscaster. I feel like yours was more sports announcer.
Yeah, I was going like ESPN, like it was a throwback.
Nothing wrong with it.
Like I was ready. In fact, I was ready to announce Michael Jordan as the wing for the Chicago Bulls. That's kind of where I was in my.
But you're stuck in a fantasy.
Yeah, I've been watching that documentary, so I was about to. In fact, I just heard what's his name do "Let's Get Ready to Rumble."
A classic.
So you guys can. I guess you can tell us whose radio voice you like better, or which one we should do, or you don't have to. But
yeah, comparison is the thief of joy.
And hello to Alan. Hello to Marcos, our awesome moderator. Hello, Marcos. And hello to Share Bear. It's always nice to see Share Bear. And Keely, nice to see you. And
hello.
Our guest is in the chat.
Hello.
Nice to see you in there. And let's see who else we got. Oh, it's Josh. Good to see you, Josh. And I hope you've had a fantastic week as well. So
yes.
It's hump day, which Natalie now knows what that means.
It makes me uncomfortable when you say that, Michelle.
It shouldn't. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, it just, I don't know. I've never heard you say it until we start doing these things, and it feels unnatural.
I mean, it's kind of been a thing our whole life. Wednesday being called hump day.
That is the day that it is.
And hello, McWiz. Rick, good to see you. Dawn, how are you doing? And I don't think I missed anyone else. And TNN, good to see you. Yeah, we are here for another, and Mega Mac, nice to see you in the house. We are here for another weekly roundup. And hello to the Fell. Okay. Sometimes, guys, it's like a little blurry when I click on it. There we go.
It is. I'm going to pull it up on my phone.
And hello to you. And hello to Dax, our friend Dax, and Grand Admiral Adam. Awesome to see all of you all in the chat this evening. Well, guys, we have a very lovely guest, a special guest, and hello to Kaylee tonight. Yes, we have with us Rihanna, and we were on her show.
Do you mean Lorena?
Lorena, gosh, again, I just told her I literally just called her by her name backstage.
I think just say it with me, Lorena.
Lorena, yeah.
There you go.
Yes,
Lorena.
I did. I just botched our guest's name. So I guess I lose that round of the best announcer.
I am the winner after all.
She is the winner on that one because I botched her name. So after I botched her name, let's go ahead and bring our guest in tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Natalie having to correct me over here because I botched your name live.
What are big sisters for?
Oh, you know what? No worries, because my government name is so crazy to like pronounce. Even family members could not freaking get it right. So I have like 15 nicknames and I answer to like all of them.
I like it. Well, we're a nickname. Maybe by the end of the show, we will have her own nickname.
That's true.
Because if we hang out with you long enough, like you're going to get a nickname. I mean, we've got Demonji, we've got G3PO, we have let's see, Lil Yeti. Lil Yeti. I mean, we like to come up with nicknames for our guests. It usually happens by you being on the second time, by second time on the show, we've come up with the nickname.
We'll find it.
We will.
Cool. I can't wait to get one.
And thank you so much, Rick, for the $10 super sticker.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. I'm just going to go with
So
our
generous.
go-to, our favorite, a little Justin.
I like that laugh.
Sometimes we all need that punk in our feeds, making fun of someone.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, Justin, yeah.
Oh, you want to hear something that's like funny and yet embarrassing at the same time for me?
I
Justin Bieber is my distant cousin.
Is he really?
Oh
We don't claim him. No, it's somehow through, the French from Quebec who came from Quebec to Louisiana in like late 1700s. But yeah, we don't claim him.
You don't claim the Bieber.
You're not a believer. I take it.
No.
Yeah, I feel like no one has seen that clip, but we are obsessed with it. So now everyone has seen that clip. Because Natalie and I just so often will be like, I like that laugh.
Michelle, I really do like your laugh. It's quite aggressive.
I do have an aggressive laugh.
She has it's a good hearty laugh.
It is.
Comes from down here.
I mean,
I love it.
I can definitely embarrass you if we go to the movies together and we happen to be seeing a comedy.
Many times.
Oh, so you're that friend. It's like, oh my God, where is she?
Like,
Tell her to laugh. Then we'll pick out where she is. Yeah, you got to have that one.
She is Brenda from Scary Movie.
No, I'm not Brenda from Scary Movie. Because Brenda's the talker. And I'm not a talker. We need to get a Brenda from Scary Movie clip.
I have not seen that one in like the longest time.
It's like they're terrible, but they're freaking funny.
They're so bad that
They're so
they're
bad,
fun.
they're hilarious.
They're hilarious. You sit there with your friends and you just clown the whole movie. It's great.
It's like I would love though in our climate today to get something like Scary Movie.
Yeah, like just something that lighthearted and like stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say instead of the nonsense we get, I would love to get just something that's just goofy, genuinely silly.
Just fun to just kick back and laugh at and don't have to worry about getting preached to or pandered to. Just sit back, laugh, and have fun.
And make fun, just laugh at just the nonsense of the movie. Exactly. I would love that. Well, everyone in our chat, we met Lorena. There we go. I told you before backstage. It's been a long day. Okay. Well, I guess on Toxic Femme, I get called Natalie a lot, so I guess we're even.
Oh, I didn't even know this. I like it though.
No, I did do that.
It's mostly Nina that's like Natalie. I mean Michelle. But yes, everyone in the chat, we got to meet her through Toxic Femininity and then go on your show. And you genuinely, the word I would use to describe you, you're just a lovely woman.
Yes.
So,
oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I was excited to get you on our show, especially after we were on with you. It's like, yeah, let's schedule that. So we're glad to have you tonight.
Oh, well, I am excited and honored to be on.
Well, thank you. And Michael, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. Well, that is not good. That you're laid up in the hospital.
No.
What are you?
That's not good.
No, that is not.
Well, Michael, we hope you get feeling better very
Please,
soon.
yeah.
No, I'll pray for you tonight,
Yeah.
Michael. That's not good. We want you out of the hospital.
Fast.
Yes, definitely fast. Yeah, that's not good. And hopefully they can get your pain under control. I mean, that's kind of what hospitals are supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, they usually have those really good drugs at the hospital. You know.
They got that good stuff.
I'm just, it's kind of like, okay, that's legal for you to give me, right? Because you're okay, I can have that, right? Just
and yes, get well fast, Michael. Yeah, get well. And I love this. The big hair string. Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
I own it.
Yes, I like it.
Yes, big hair. I don't care. The bigger, the better. I love it.
What is the expression? The closer,
the bigger the hair, the higher to heaven.
Closer to God, right?
Closer to God. True, people.
I mean, yeah, that's what we're going for here. So
I love it.
Well, let's see. Tonight we were saying behind backstage, it's like this week's been a little bit slow. a little bit of a slow week. But guys, I think
But
still
no, Michelle, don't make the people think it's not going to
No.
be exciting.
Oh no, we still found plenty to talk
We got
about.
stuff, yeah.
We're still going to spill the tea.
Oh, we're gonna spill the tea. So, and we're gonna start. In fact, I want to start with a friend of the channel, and that being
Oh.
one
Yeah.
drunk 3PO, aka G3PO.
Smooth through.
That's his nickname for you. Y'all nickname for him, right?
Yep, he's G3PO. Because he's got the connection with the ladies, so he's a G.
that he does have, I will say.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does have a certain way about him, does he not?
He does. In fact, I was on the phone with him yesterday, and he was helping me arrange a Disney trip when he looked on his Twitter and said, "I've been suspended from Twitter." And I got on, and I was like, "Yep, you've been suspended from Twitter."
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, so
It was just crazy because I was doing a stream yesterday, coincidentally, is about Disney, actually Disney versus Universal. So we were having that discussion. And someone in my stream is like, well, Grim 3PO got suspended from Twitter. I'm like, that's a joke, right? That's a joke, right? So I texted him. I'm like, did you get suspended from Twitter? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what the heck, whatever for. But then again, this is Twitter. This is Twitter. They selectively enforce their rules. When I was up to my neck in political Twitter, we saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. It was never equal enforcement. And then when you ask them, they have selective amnesia, like, we don't really know. It's something.
Yeah.
It's something we don't quite know what it is, or we do know what it is, but we're not going to tell you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, Twitter.
So it's like they can always have a reason to and just say,
Yes.
well, we're not going to tell you what the guidelines are, but it doesn't fall within them.
They got him for his love of Gina. Well,
Probably.
in fact, I do believe it was an old tweet of Gina that they claim that they got him for, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's the ridiculous part. And that's how you know it's fishy, because this was from like months back or something like that. And they got it. I have seen this happen where they will go back, find some old, tweet somewhere, and will mass report it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen some people get DCMA takedowns, which is, for copyrighted music, whatever. But I haven't had it happen to me. They selectively enforce the rules. And that's basically the thing with Twitter. It's nothing that's even. It's nothing that's an explicit rule guideline where they say this happens, you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have this. And it's very clear.
Yes.
But all you need is a couple of idiots with too much time on their hands and bored with, I guess, picking lint out of their navel to report people.
Well, exactly, because like we were saying, or you were saying, I didn't even realize that Twitter did like copyrights for the most part, because people play music clips all the time.
Well, I know they
Twitter.
do on Instagram, because I've had they'll tell me it was like 3 years ago, and they'll every couple weeks they're like, your video has been. I'm like, okay, you told me this 3 years ago. They're very serious about it.
Well, but then at other times, people do music like all the time, like on clips, and it doesn't get. So it's like you said, it's very selective.
Yeah.
Of what they do, and clearly people were probably false flagging.
Oh
and,
yeah,
as you said, they're bored going back, and it's just so. That's what I tweet out. Like I'm tired of all the false flagging. It's just like whether it's Mama Susan, as Jumanji calls this good old platform, or it is Twitter. It's just like, how about you guys, before you suspend an account or give a strike on a channel, why don't you guys like actually go look at the material for yourselves,
like the context?
Yes. Because people get false flagged all the time.
Well, I think two reasons or maybe one reason. One, how big YouTube is. And two, with as much money as they have from Google, they would rather pay, and they would rather just have an AI comb through your channel and, take your videos down or issue copyright strikes than to actually have a human sit down and review something.
Yeah.
Yes. And
That's
it's just
how they
like,
look at it.
yes, and that's like I get that for like most of it, but it's like before they go to that strike or suspension, that should require a human. But sadly, it doesn't. It
Keely
doesn't seem.
Chow. We won't put it
Yeah.
out, but
Oh, we see you, Keely. We agree.
Keely
Yeah.
Chow, Roll Tide. There you go.
Yeah, it's it really is. It was insane. And what's so sad is kind of like what you were alluding to, is even though when I looked and was like, oh yeah, you have been suspended from Twitter. It's like it's sad that it's not surprising that someone like Jay, who actually hardly ever, like he doesn't even get political hardly ever. I mean, he's like non-controversial as it gets on Twitter. And for him to get suspended for 10 days, that's just kind of a sad state of affairs.
Mhm.
it is silly.
It is. So, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully he'll get it back. I think he just did a park hopping stream. He was out of Universal today and said something about it might be permanent. I hope not. I really do hope that he's filed an appeal against this crap. Because you have to force these people, you have to hold them to account. You really do.
Yes, he definitely needs to file the appeal though, because I mean, as you said, because there is zero reason that this should go
Yeah.
beyond 10 days. I mean, that's insane. And
Yeah.
as someone in the
I
chat
know
pointed
that's
out,
like I'm like seriously, it's
I mean, this is such a good point.
Oh yeah. But not the Taliban. See, the Taliban is
Yeah.
their kind of people, like the Taliban,
Right.
like the Ayatollah. Like they don't care. Dictators, they can do as much as they want on Twitter. They don't care. They love that. But us
They
serfs
do.
down here, they don't want us, they don't want us talking or doing anything. Because I remember James Woods got suspended off of Twitter, and it was for something innocuous, not even audio or video or anything. Just something he just happened to state. And, the masters of the universe, like we call these big tech companies. That's what Breitbart likes to call them. So I like calling them that, the masters of the universe. They don't like that. So they'll strike them, they'll get rid of them and then not tell them what they did. But, Taliban's okay. CCP is okay.
Yes. Yeah, they're all good. They're good.
Yeah,
I
they're fine.
think they're masters of the narrative.
They are.
And that is, I
Well,
guess what they've done.
And that's
why we call them masters of the universe. That's what we call them that.
They really do. Did James Wood, did he get to come back to Twitter?
He eventually came back. I think I think he appealed, and then I think he won. But for a while, he just said, "Screw it, I'm not coming back for a while," and he was gone for several months.
Well, I once, because I had a personal account that I had since 2012, I believe, was when I started, like when like Twitter was just really getting started. And after, because our channel knows I'm not down for censorship, after it was right around the election and they banned Trump, and then they started banning all these other people they didn't agree with politically. And I got off my personal account and deleted it. And I just run the Force of Light one now. I mean, everyone knows it's me, but because I was just like, no, like this, it's just, I got tired of it as far as that.
The BS.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
It was nuts. And like I said, I knew it was coming when I was dealing with political Twitter.
Yes.
And you would see people get suspended, get kicked off. We did it in error. No, you didn't do it in error. You did it on purpose. Your AI did it. And, you didn't look at it until someone forced you to. So it's been happening in that sphere, but now it's spilled. Well, not now, we'll say with around the 2020 election, it completely spilled over into everything else. So you've seen people who will get on certain threads of certain people, especially some YouTubers that we know on Twitter, and they'll say report their video, mass report, their tweet. Now that's a flagrant violation of TOS, but Twitter won't look at that. But you'll have these people who will blatantly say, this is what you need to do to go ahead and get them suspended off Twitter.
And can you imagine being that person?
The
like,
energy that takes.
like,
to-
I mean, we just addressed even the freaking Taliban, and I haven't even spent my energy saying why is the Taliban on? I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that it's the freaking Taliban, but
but really, why are they though?
yeah, but why? But
They're
why?
terrible people.
Yeah, but it's just I can't imagine being the type person that wants to dig through things and like try to cancel and ruin people. It's ridiculous.
Because it's like you're mostly because you're happy with your lives. Because I've noticed this. People who are happy with their lives and you have enough other stuff going on do not have time for this petty kind of crap. But then you have these people who there's a group of them. Yes, I'm stereotyping. I'm going to say this. They're in their basement. That's pretty much all they do. Because I got this idea because for some people who are on a talk radio that I happen to know, one guy who was a host, he said, you've got these ones where all they do is just sit in the basement and they just listen to my show every day to get clips and write in and complain about something and a call or whatever. That's all that they have time to do. You think they would be more productive with doing something else, but no, that's like what they're so invested in. And if they were, satisfied with their life or concentrating on their own life, they wouldn't have time to go out there and, cause all this kind of trouble. Well, the human ones, because remember, there's bots that are out there too.
That's true. I heard this interesting study. I hadn't really thought about this way. Obviously people that just maliciously attack people online, like, there's something wrong on the inside that they want to go take that anger out on. But I heard there was like, they actually did this study where people, how you think, oh, well, maybe they wouldn't be that way in real life. But it said the study showed that people that are mean and nasty online, they're actually just jerks in real life. I was like, oh, you learned something different.
Some of them, it's funny. Some of them are, and not only that, but some of them, when you see them in person, they have nothing to say. It's like, okay, so you're big and bad banging on your keyboard when you didn't know who I was. And now I'm here in front of you, you see me and you run off in the other direction. So we know what's up when it comes to that.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. These people are just sad. As Kaylee said in the comment, they're just haters.
Yeah, they're haters and y'all need Jesus. That's all I'm saying.
They do. They
need Jesus.
They do. You're right, Lorena.
Yeah, they need that hate to go, man. It's
the dark side has to be.
Yes.
Man, if there is ever a time that you see what Yoda says to Anakin come to fruition, is it not now? That fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering.
The dark side. Yeah.
It's just like you see it on Twitter.
Can I get an amen?
Amen to that, because there's so much fear out there, and you see the people projecting that kind of fear onto others, and it's infectious.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, not that we're going to get on this, but Don Lemon, who I think is one of the most horrible human beings on the face of the earth.
What's that term? I'll clean it up. I wouldn't go get a glass of water to put on him if he was on fire.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
We were saying today, like, and we won't get on it, but he was just, I saw a thing today. It was like, I tweeted out, when you think he can't get any worse, he's basically like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Hold my beer and watch this.
Because he was tweeting out today, just speaking about nasty people, like, if you are sick and you have not been vaccinated, do not go to the hospital. Like, basically, you are to die at home.
It's like, what you gonna do? How you gonna stop me, huh?
Yeah.
I'd love to see you try.
Oh, he's something.
He's special, right up there with Sean King, aka Talcum X.
Sean King, yeah.
If you ever want a good laugh, I don't know who has the video or the meme, but people were coming up with these names for Sean King, and I think it was like Talcum X. God, it's a shame I can't remember all of them, but they were just so freaking funny.
Please tell me you know who Sean King is.
I'm sure if I saw him.
Dude is like basically white and he like acts like he's black.
He acts like he's black. He won't. It's like, okay, we'll take a DNA test. Well, I don't have to do that, and I'm not going to show you. I'm like, okay, really? All right. I'm not gonna believe that dude is black at all until he shows up on Finding Your Roots with Henley Louis Gates and they prove it. But he's just an absolute grifter, and he's been grifting off the black community for years. And then when he got called out for it, then he threatened to try to sue people.
Like Sean King is basically one step away from me trying to claim to be black and to speak for African American rights.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I feel you.
Like that's exactly it.
Yeah, he's something. Let me see. I was gonna pull up. Let me find something. Actually, hold on. Let me go back to. Let me put this on camera so you guys see what I am pulling up here. I actually saw this, and I wanted to bring this up with you. This article. Actually, hold on. It's just going to show you the Twitter thing. Actually, we don't have to pull the actual article up. That's fine. You guys see the gist. I wanted to bring this up because when we were on your show, you made a really good point talking about how Hollywood panders, and they've been pandering specifically to say China. We've seen that a lot recently. And you made a good point about how like even the Asian community, they don't want, when they watch American movies, they want to watch American culture. Like they're not there to see Asian represented necessarily.
Are you saying they want to watch white people?
No, I mean it could be Asian Americans, but American culture,
right?
Not trying to pander to like Mulan. That was basically like, worshiping China.
I see what you're saying. The American culture.
Yes, and you made that point, and I saw this article, and I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I skimmed this when you sent it, and I know Midnight Edge was doing something on this today too. But this is true. So I'll take it in a slightly different context before I get to this. It's like with pandering to a black audience.
Yeah.
And you will get these people in Hollywood who will get this idea, will say, well, let's get this movie. Black audience should like this. And they'll just pander. And it's just like, no, that's, we don't want to see that. We're not interested, in that. And I won't go into like race swapping a character. So they think, if we just make him a black guy, you should like this, right? You should be interested in this, right? No, we're not interested in that. Make original characters. Like, for example, make Falcon. We're interested in Sam Wilson. Let's see what Sam Wilson is doing. Not Sam Wilson as Captain America 2.0. I'm not interested in that. But when it comes to Asian films, because I had some friends who I grew up with and who I went to school with, and they were like, back in, the ancestral country, when they want to see American movies, they want to see American movies, big budget American movies, American culture. Basically, if you can get savvy to American culture, that's like a big thing. So it's like, why do I want to see an American movie to pander to an Asian audience when Asia already has, Asia has and has had a kick-ass movie industry for decades. Because when I was a kid, I would watch something called Kung Fu Theater that would come on Saturdays because my parents couldn't afford cable. So we had to watch what was on Fox or the local channels. And it was nothing but a block of like Asian movies. And just to be able to sit and watch and get that kind of appreciation for it, it's like, that's what you want, that's what you want to see. It's like, you don't want to necessarily see something that's, that's Americanized. So it's kind of like Hollywood is trying to say, hey, we can do Asian movies better than, Asian cinema industry. No, it's not.
Yeah. And this article, it actually, even though it deals with them not wanting the pandering, from an American point of view, I actually thought some of the information it was good because I mean I think it's actually good that the CCP is kind of rejecting Hollywood because it's
I
like
agree.
good. Like, and that's sad that Hollywood's having to be rejected by the CCP.
Sometimes rejection is your best protection.
Yes, but it's like for us, for us as Americans.
Just thought I'd add that in there.
She's just giving good life advice.
Oh yeah.
But for us as Americans, I think it's a good thing. Like, stop catering to the CCP. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah, stop it.
So it's good for us that they're actually the CCP's rejecting Hollywood and like, no thanks, we don't want your movies.
If you can't break it off, you need the other person to break it off for you.
You do, and it's to bring us another dimension to this. Since I'm gonna show my Philly accent, Shang-Chi, because I heard it's not pronounced that way, but I'm going to use that. Shang-Chi. Yeah, they only find legitimacy and establish straight white male characters. Yeah, that's actually true. I love
and that's why they always have to just race bend and yeah, exactly.
And all of that. And it's like, oh, that's what we have to do. Just change the wrapper and sell the same old product. But because Shang-Chi is a Marvel film, aka a Disney film, Disney has 2 parks in China, Shanghai Disney and I think Hong Kong Disneyland. So they have those 2 that are there. They don't own them outright. They share ownership with the CCP. So that's part of the reason why they're so busy, trying to kiss China's backside to get their films in there. But I agree. I like the fact that it is being rejected because it's kind of like Hollywood is ashamed of its own culture.
Yes.
They're ashamed of it, and they used to actually put out extremely good, movies that were studied, and people wanted to see them, and it was a big deal to be able to see them. But I do like the fact that they're rejecting it as much as I love the fact that there are a lot of Japanese anime and manga artists that are rejecting Western demands to make their product, more woke. But also getting to Disneyland, if you go to say Tokyo Disneyland, it's like Disney World on steroids because they so revere the original stories. Yeah, that whole thing about retheming Splash Mountain to Princess and the Frog, which I freaking hate that that's being doing because my culture is being erased. They're not doing that in Japan. They're not doing that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd like to go to Japan someday. It sounds like a cool place.
I do. I want to go to Tokyo Disneyland so bad. Tokyo Disneyland, and I guess the biggest Hello Kitty store in the world. That's where I want to go.
I was gonna say, I wasn't trying to stereotype. I would never, but you brought. They love some Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
The kitty is strong over there.
I freaking love it. I was just I just love it. Universal has a Hello Kitty store and I have to go there all the time. Jay makes fun of me because literally we were at Universal and we go by the Hello Kitty store and I'm like, I'm trying not to go and I'm really trying not to go in there.
So you're saying you'll fit into Japan when you go? You'll take all your Hello Kitty stuff.
Hey, I loved it as a kid. I loved Hello Kitty. I understand.
I feel like there used to be really good bubble gum that was Hello Kitty.
There was like a Hello
Kitty. They had gum. They had candy. They had pencils. They had they had a whole they had a whole bunch of a whole bunch of stuff for
Well, yeah, that's as far as this again though, I do think ultimately I'm just happy Hollywood's getting rejected. Which it's funny because it kind of goes back to how you can never be
China's just not that into you.
No. It's just like I'm sorry the hot guy turned you down, but
there's
just be a God. This is going to sound so cliche, but maybe if you could just be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and too, another reason I'm not so keen on our movies being over there in general is, say a movie like Endgame or something that does Infinity War, that does do really well at the China
Mhm.
box office.
Right.
Well, like 75% of that goes to the CCP. It's like, so I'm not exactly thrilled with any of our movies being there at the moment because all it does is go fund an evil organization, basically.
Yeah, ladies, have you oh gosh. Have you seen I have to laugh at this because it was so funny. I was like dying. There was this oh gosh, was it Politizoid? Where he actually did this video that it was like reimagined It's a Small World.
Yes, it was
Have you seen?
hysterical. Yes.
No, this sounds interesting.
He did. It's a woke world, wasn't it?
It's a woke world. It's like welcome to the eradication of whiteness, and you had like the CCP, and then you saw like the factory floor where they're forcing people to work, and then you saw the Uyghur concentration camp.
It was hysterical. I'll have to send it to you.
It was the most funniest, ironic, funniest thing I had seen, and I don't know how long we had to play it on Toxic Femme. It was just freaking brilliant.
Well, and what's so funny about it, what's so sad about it is that, I mean, well, that's what makes good comedy is when there's so much truth in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we all
yeah.
recognize it. Like this is true. In fact, can I play that? Would I get in trouble to play that?
You can play it, just don't play the sound. I didn't play the sound on Toxic Film, which was good because all we did was just make commentary. The commentary was the best part with us talking about it. Because when you juxtapose, because it's true, it's like the best satire and the best comedy is based on those grains of truth that were in there. So it's like you laugh, but it's like it's a lot easier to laugh at that. And then you realize how freaking sad and ironic, it is. And that was just the genius because It's a Small World is the most annoying ride in the world. I'd almost rather be waterboarded than be
pretty bad
than be on there.
And I saw recently, I think a big group got stuck in It's a Small
I
World.
saw that. Yeah, that would be kind of terrifying. All those dolls staring at you in the dark
just,
water.
And just the music going over
and over and over and over again. It's just, well, unless one of the animatronics breaks, and then it's kind of funny because you see like the hula girl with like stuck and all the rest of the hula girls shake, but that one stuck, so you kind of feel bad for it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that man, that ride, that song, you're just like, ugh. Can you imagine working in there?
I can't.
Like you're one of the people that works back there and you have to hear the song all day.
I think that's why I'm a little extra nicer to the cast members that work at that attraction.
Like, God bless you.
Like they go to a padded room at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, okay, I've had it. Oh God, I need a break. I need a freaking break. I can't listen to this music anymore.
It's pretty. It's just, well, it's kind of creepy. It's just the tune of it. It's how creepy it is.
And then all the dolls move in unison. That's creepy. But it's the best. But it's the best meme ever. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like the Shrek movies, like the first one.
Yeah,
and it's like a ripoff of Disney World, and they have like the creepy dolls.
Gosh, I've not watched Shrek in so long. But yeah.
No, it's funny though.
Yeah, they couldn't make that now.
No, well, the kid. Well, that's what. And thank you so much, Gene the Book, for the $2 super chat. Y'all just get into anime and forget Hollywood. I think we're all gonna have to forget Hollywood soon.
Up there and over there, because I got into I finished watching Cowboy Bebop not too long ago. I was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. That's freaking crazy, and I love it. It's really weird. But Demon Slayer, I like binged 26 all the episodes of Demon Slayer. Went to go see the movie. I haven't been that emotionally spent since Infinity War. I was like, I can't believe how great this is. And then got into My Hero Academia. So the superhero movies that we fell in love with, that anime, it's like they have the love for the superheroes in there, and
Yeah.
it is absolutely amazing. I flip and love it.
We all know they'll come for anime next.
They are trying to, and they are actively fighting it. They're really trying to fight back on it, because I don't know if you ladies have heard about the news around Cowboy Bebop, or have you?
Well, I've seen that. I don't really know anything about that show.
Right.
So like I've seen people are upset, but I've not really looked into why and what's going on with it.
Well, a couple things. One, there's the original 26 episodes that were from Japan. So there were those. So that was a well beloved like anime. Like people remember that. Netflix is doing a live action reboot of that.
Okay.
So it's Netflix, but not only that, anime doesn't translate to live action very well.
Yeah.
But the costuming does not look right. One of the iconic female characters, Faye, who looks like a stripper gone broke, much with her outfit. She's, blatantly, you can see her. She's one of the most cosplayed characters. Okay. The actress they had doing that, she's in this frumpy look. It's like they rose teacoed her, pretty much. And fans weren't too. Yeah, they went full Rose Tico, to the point we're just like, who is this chick? We don't know who this chick is. And fans expressed their anger about it and dissatisfaction with it. Well, the actress who played Faye decided to clap back at the fans in a video, which has now been taken down because she got a lot of pushback for that. And it turns out that the guy who originally wrote it, he's a consultant. And he basically was quoted in an article of saying, I really hope it turns out well. I don't have anything to do with it. So he's distancing himself as far as possible.
Gotcha.
From this. But they are coming for anime.
Well,
and
yeah,
Americans are like, don't let them.
It's always sticky when you try to translate from cartoon to live action. It can be, it's difficult.
And especially with anime, because there's so much that's in the animation that you can't quite capture it in live action. Exactly. Yeah. And that's a big part of the genre.
Yes, because the design is so different. I get what you're saying, definitely. And thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Mel Brooks,
hey, Commander Ed.
One Removed is comedy. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. Someone said, "Oh no, someone Cher said, "Oh no, she got Rose Tico'd."
She did. She got Tico'd.
like Rose Tico'd is literally at this point. It's like it's like a. Would that be a verb or an adjective? What? It's again, guys. It's been a lot.
I think that would be a verb.
Would that be a verb? I think it's a verb. Yeah, I think it's a verb.
She got Tico'd.
Tico'd.
Well, I was gonna say, okay, so I saw this today. Did you know that they were doing a reboot of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I had heard something about it. I think this kid had done something on either TikTok or Instagram, and it got Will Smith's attention, and he wound up getting a deal. So I'm assuming this is that deal.
Okay.
So I did hear it was coming.
So I didn't know this, but they literally are rebooting the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
See, I thought he looked more like Carlton.
He does.
He does, doesn't he?
He does look a little more like Carlton.
He looks a lot more like Alfonso Ribeiro than Will Smith.
And Cher's exactly right. They're not capable of anything original.
That's exactly right. It's like this has been done before.
Yeah.
And
I just don't see this being a winning proposition for anyone involved. Like there's sometimes you see something and you're like, that's gonna fail. And like that's one of those things you're like, that's gonna fail. One, because like Fresh Prince, what makes it special now is the nostalgia of the time.
I loved that show. I watched it all the time.
It was such a cool show, like lightning in a
Yeah.
bottle, even
Yes.
just the reruns, because there are kids from a new generation who go
Yes.
back and look at this and they're just like, you just freaking love it, because you're right. It's like it's a product of its, of its time. It's like with the reboot coming from the Wonder Years that they're doing it with,
Oh,
with
no.
the Black family. So
Hard to-
rather than come up with a different show where
You're
you
like,
can
"We'll just make it
tell
work."
those stories, it's just like they don't do it. And I told somebody, I said they've done the Wonder Years with the Black family. It was called Everybody Hates Chris. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that
I've
show,
never
but
seen that
I
show.
remember that show being out, but I haven't seen it.
When
it
did it
is
come out?
hilarious. It's around it came a couple years ago, but it was all around like Chris Rock's life as a
Yeah,
kid
Chris Rock.
living in the inner city
Oh, okay.
from that same time period, but told from that same, author's, that narrator's voice perspective. And it was funny. It was
Okay.
absolutely funny, but kind of like the Wonder Years, but it was a different family, a different setting, and the stories were different. So that's why that was an original take on it. But
But
race-
but that's a good point. Like that's like just a different take, where this like truly trying to reboot Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then another thing, I mean, let's face it. One, it had an amazing cast. The entire cast was great and just so right for the roles that they had. But
Mhm.
then you also had the charisma of a young Will Smith. And
Yes.
this guy may be great.
And Carlton's dance.
Yeah, Carlton's dance. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everyone was great.
Carlton, Uncle Phil.
Yes,
Uncle
everybody.
Phil, yeah.
You
what's her
had
name
the
from-
butler.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name, but you had the butler who just already had like that straight man comedy.
Yeah, I mean, the show just worked, and,
and it was like a comedy, yet there was
the
scene-
heartfelt.
Yeah, there was the scene they had on Instagram about like it was like a minute scene of him talking about his dad who had been absent, and it like
That
really-
one,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when he
It
was
had me
saying,
in
"Why
tears."
doesn't he want me?"
Oh my God.
and
His
his
uncle
uncle is
punched
just like,
him.
"I can't." He's like, "I can't fix it, no matter how hard, I try." And he was just heartbroken. And I think that was the moment when Will Smith, the true actor, was born.
Yeah, because it
From
was
that-
it was so real,
Well, and those type of shows, like in the 90s, did that. Whether it was Fresh Prince, even Full House did it its own way. These family shows that were family oriented, that were they're comedies, but yet they would go for the heartfelt moments at times.
Yeah, go for the deep stuff, for the uncomfortable places sometimes.
Yeah, and shows like that, like we need new versions of those today in our era and our time that are family friendly, but genuinely funny, like good, well casted, funny, good dynamic amongst the group, and do go for those heartfelt moments that speak into people's lives of what people are
Right.
going through.
That's
like
what I had hoped. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say legitimate things, like legitimate issues, not like if Hollywood did today, it would be like ridiculous things talking with their parents, like, "Mommy, why did everyone not get the jab?" Like that's would be the serious issue of the day.
So and so's not vaccinated. Does that mean I can't play with them anymore?
They would have like, "Well, honey, John," it would be one of those.
Right.
They would botch it. But yeah, I do not see this show. I just don't see that being a winning proposition, because
because it's hard to compete with the original. I mean, it's very hard.
you can't. Do
It's
something new.
Yeah.
it's not because Hollywood has been devoid. Well, I'll put it this way. Not that they are devoid of new ideas. It's because they don't want to take risks on those new ideas. And they're much more comfortable with rebooting and rehashing the same old crap, putting a new coat of paint on it and putting it out there, rather than take a risk on something new. A successful reboot, and the reason that it was successful is because they actually went in, reverse engineered it, and put thought into it, is Cobra Kai.
Yes. Yes, has been very well received.
I did not want to watch that in the beginning. I'm like, why the heck do I want to see rebooted? We knew how the story ended. Why the heck do I want to see it? I'm not interested. And then people are telling me like, no. Daniel's the bad guy now. I said, what? They're like, yeah. It's like they switch places. Daniel's the bad guy. Johnny's the good guy. I'm like, how did they pull that off? And then I watch it and I was like hooked. I had to watch.
Like, I binged like the first 2 seasons.
It was crazy. I was just like, I can't move. I have to find out what's going on. But they did that in a very good way because they actually put thought into solving the question, how are we going to reboot this so it's not the same warmed over crap, but that are going to make people come back for more and do that. So Hayden Shawsberg, who I think he's the producer / director. I think he's the director. I'm sorry, Hayden, don't get mad at me. He follows me on Twitter. They put so much work into that. And he actually has a good article in the Hollywood Reporter about how to reboot a franchise successfully. I don't see that. I don't see that with this. The original Fresh Prince, they had a writer's room that was top notch. They took risks. You don't see that very much, in Hollywood now. I remember the episode of Fresh Prince, one that really, really, touched me was when he and Carlton were in college and they pledged to get into this Black fraternity. Will got in. They didn't want Carlton.
Poor Carlton.
They didn't want Carlton. And Carlton's like, he's just like, he's like working really hard. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get in. They tell Will, he got in. And he's like, okay, well, what about my cousin? He's just like, no, he's not our type. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, he's been making straight A's since he was a kid. And they're just like, no, he's just not our type. Translated, he's not our type of Black man that we want in this particular fraternity. And that was a risk to take and put out there because that was something that still is an issue that's doesn't really like to be talked about in the Black community. But one of the things that it did say is not all Black people are the same. And you really should look at what someone's qualifications are rather than, if they're that stereotype that you want. At the end of that episode, that fraternity wound up breaking up because people were like, yo, I'm not down with that particular thing.
Man, that was actually like a solid approach to something. You would you just don't get stuff like legitimate things like that really addressed today. Like they just wouldn't go there.
Right.
No.
I actually remember that episode, I believe, with them in college. I think as you were talking about it, it was like coming back because I've watched all of those episodes.
Because that's what in the past, like whether it was Mr. Rogers, like, he would, like, I love Mr. Rogers, but he would handle like episodes with small children, but like of race issues and things like that, but do it in a way that they can understand. And I think that is a good thing, like in shows, to bring up, like you said, issues that maybe aren't talked about a lot, or maybe would give people education or think about something they'd never thought before.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is things like that can't happen because let's just be real. The character of Carlton today, Hollywood today would call Carlton internally racist.
Oh yeah, they would call them, internalized racism, white adjacent. They call them something like that because that's what they want. Because that's what they want to, that's what they want you to, quote unquote, be.
Really, they
be
would say that about the whole family outside of maybe Will Smith's character, which in its fact is kind of being racist to say that there can't be a wealthy, educated Black family.
Yeah.
But that's how they are.
It's like it used to be that you would show, these Black families that were strong and were intact. Like, again, I know because we're using a lot of Fresh Prince here, but folks remember that. I know there was one episode where Uncle Phil, some of his like old college buddies came back and they were just like, why aren't you out there protesting and doing this, that, and the other thing? And he's telling me, he's like, look, back in the 60s, we didn't have a choice. We had to be, we had to do like a lot of protesting and sit-ins and stuff like that. But they said, but our kids know better. They know a better way. We need to teach them how to go through the courts and do this stuff and be smarter, than we were. You won't see them really doing something like that now.
Oh, heck
Yeah,
no.
right.
I mean, really, that show wouldn't be made today.
No, that show wouldn't be made. Married with Children wouldn't be made.
Oh, heck no.
I
Heck
love
no.
that one too. It was a guilty pleasure.
I want to
That
go back
won't
to
be
that. It's like,
made. What else? In Living Color definitely. Ooh, definitely wouldn't be made.
not like nothing would be
Yeah.
made today. And thank you, Gene the Book, for the $2
Yes,
super
thank you
chat.
very much.
2021 social norms can't carry the 90s energy. Absolutely not. That's
No.
100% correct. They
Yeah.
cannot.
No, it's funny, but I shouldn't joke about it, but it's true. It's like Hollywood was more creative when cocaine ran freely.
That's where we need.
She's like, just saying.
She's like, cocaine was a hell of a drug.
Yeah, because now the stuff that comes out is just depressing or unimaginative, or
It really is. Well, and something you brought up, Married with Children. What Tom? It was actually Tom who said if there's a show that they should do, not a reboot, but a continuation reboot, it's that show, and it's like bring back Christina Applegate
Yeah.
and have her kids.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that show would legit do well if it was well written.
That really could be funny.
Like, why is Netflix or anyone not on that? Because that actually would be, if again, it would all be dependent upon how they write it. And if they make it kind of fresh, just with her and the brother being the parents at this stage,
Yeah.
that could actually really work. I remember Tom said that. I was like, yeah.
There's one problem. Fox, it's a Fox property, and Fox is owned by Disney now.
Yeah, it's not happening.
So they ain't trying to do that. Hey, Valiant.
Right.
It's not happening because you would almost need like a Netflix or someone to make that at this point, probably.
Yeah, or like either Netflix or
Hulu.
Amazon, or
If-
no, Hulu's Disney too. They just
Well,
Disney
that's
owns
what I'm-
majority stake.
if they would let them do it, but Disney would probably mess it all up. And
They're already messing up Predator. Hey, Valiant.
bless Valiant's heart. He's down there having to endure the no power of the
I
storm.
know,
We're just happy you're
man.
okay and nothing was damaged.
Stay safe, my dear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And hello to Nina.
Hello, Nina.
Hey, Nina.
Nice to see good old Nina in there. I don't know if she wants to be old Nina. But
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, Michelle. I don't. Good young.
Yes, young, fresh,
We all
hot
are.
Nina. There we go. Yeah, that's not the nickname for Nina.
Old Nina.
Old Nina.
It's not.
She's like, remind us not to bring them back on top.
Oh, no way. Love you, ladies.
And I will, let's see, I saw this. Were you a fan of The Mummy? I was a huge Mummy fan.
Yes, I was such a fan of The Mummy. Let me see if I can find this tweet. When did I do this?
Nina
Is
says
The
she's
Mummy-
an old soul. That's what I meant, Nina. You know, I know you're young and fresh.
Because The Mummy is literally one of my absolute favorite movies.
I love it. I loved it when it came out. And I still love it. Oh, let's see. Let's add this.
So much so that because there's that Reface app. I freaking love it. I
Oh.
should put my face on it. I love this movie.
I love that movie. I mean, the movie's just great. It's fun. It's adventurous. It's the kind of things
Yeah.
again that they don't make
Yeah,
today.
I loved that movie.
It's like it's just one of those like swashbuckler types of, I call them like the Saturday afternoon movie where it just has all the fun elements in a movie that you want to see, like conflict, crazy stuff happening, handsome leading man, beautiful leading lady, eventually somebody dies in there somewhere. And, and the good guys happen to win, in the end, it's just visually, it's stunning. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
Well, and it's actually, especially even the first one, because they used even less CGI, like it's actually held up very well, in my opinion, as far as what they did with it. But yeah, I love And I'll get back to the Mummy, but I do love the Mummy. And thank you, Valiant, for the $4.99 super chat. Thanks for the great show. All fine here, but many others are not. Still waiting on power. Got water back. Keep entertaining, ladies. Well, thank you so
We're
much.
glad
You
you're
will,
doing all
Valiant.
right.
Yes. Glad you are doing good.
Yes, and I got this.
Yeah, baby.
I love Austin Powers.
I love Austin Powers too, and that's what he's gonna say as soon as his electricity comes back on.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. You guys know if you know.
Yeah, you know if you know.
Or that sounded weird. Either way.
But let me pull this up. But yes, I love the Mummy, and I thought this was fun because people are like, they love Brendan Fraser on Twitter and have been and showing him love. And they said, we see your cries for Brendan Fraser and we raise you him and Rachel Weisz.
I love this.
I know. And I don't know about you. Okay, only if they would do a fun, good one. But why not give Brendan Fraser like a year to get back in shape and bring the two of them back together and truly do a third movie? Let's just erase that third movie they did without her, and let's just go like after two.
Yeah.
I would be all for that. Because I loved it. I love those two together.
They just had such great chemistry together.
Yeah.
They really did.
And it's just like, even that today, like, think about that's one of the reasons why I don't feel like I connect with Marvel even. We don't even get adventure romances anymore like this. Like say The Mummy. It has something for men and women. It has adventure, fun, romance. Right. That's why I actually, I really ended up being surprised and happy with the movie Free Guy, because it was like, oh, well, it was original. It was,
some comedy.
There's some comedy, some
genuine
romance.
Good romances that went on.
Yeah, and it's just like movies like that, or in this case, The Mummy. It's just we need that. They're just fun. They're fun.
Sometimes
movies.
we need to escape from our real lives and the happy ending.
We do, and that's what Hollywood has forgotten for the most part. That people would go to the movies as escapism, to at least for that 2.5. Or in the case of Endgame, what was that? 3 and I don't know. It was a long time.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem that way because you just got sucked in. And that's what people want. They want escapism. We don't want political correctness. We don't want pandering. We don't want to be preached to. I just basically want to get my popcorn, sit down, and freaking watch the movie. That's why I liked Godzilla versus Kong so much.
Yes, we rated that pretty good. Yeah, because it was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just fun. Yeah. It was fun. Big, huge ass monsters, cheesy dialogue. I think the humans talk too much in it, but that always seems to be the problem when they do those. But it was just escapist fun, and Hollywood has forgotten that. Now it's like, oh, we can't have women with their oppressors and male gaze and all.
That's what I was gonna say, because half of the adventure of The Mummy is them falling in love. Like that's an adventure people can relate to. And it's sad that in our society, and it's because
I don't know if I can relate, but
it's something we all want to relate to, even if you don't. But it's sad because of the whole like third wave feminist agenda and Hollywood agenda. It's like, no, women don't. That's not adventure anymore. Falling in love with a man. No, she'll just do her own thing, and it's just kind of. It's like, I don't know, movies like this. It's sad that we don't get this anymore. But I would be thrilled if they. Again, only if they were going to do it right. But if it was in the spirit of the first two and they did a third one together this many years later, I'd be fine.
Right. Not too long ago, I was watching the second Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Okay.
That female character could never be done today, ever.
No. There are so many parts in it that I absolutely love. I'm like watching this. I'm like, okay.
Do you know
This is
Temple
freaking
of Doom
hysterical.
gets like a bad rep, but I love Temple of Doom. Like it's the funniest Indiana Jones movie.
I thought it was funny.
It's really funny.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot line. There really wasn't anything in there that I didn't like, at all. But one of the funniest scenes ever is like the food, because she's been starving and they go to the Maharaja's palace and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get ready to eat. And everything that they bring out is so disgusting. She's just like, I can't.
disgusting.
And they bring out the chilled monkey brains and she passes out. So later on, Indy comes to her room and brings her like an apple. I was just like, you know what? I would freaking just stick my tongue down your throat just for that apple, because you would think you were so hungry. But that's the tension that they brought into the film. And
Yes.
even at the end, when he uses the whip to like grab her to keep her
yeah.
from running away, I thought that was freaking hot. You can't do that now.
It was hot. It was definitely hot. And
she was really funny.
she
You're right.
she was super funny. She's the funniest female by far.
She was absolutely, but there was a Kate Capshaw.
Yes,
it
I think
Kate
that is
Capshaw?
her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. And thank you, Luke, for the $6.99 super sticker.
You.
And what Nita says, oh yes. Let me pull. Oh yes, the Mummy. Back when a man and a woman could fall in love without a gotcha of the woman wanting to follow her career or become a bi-lesbo at the end.
She actually did both. Well, not the bi-lesbo part, but she had a
Yes.
career.
Yeah.
Yes.
She had a career when he met her. She had a career.
And you
But-
see she's continued it even more so in the next one.
Exactly. But she didn't say, okay, I have to throw everything away to be with this person. It's like it all just kind of melded together. It was great.
It was definitely great. And thank you so much, Rick, for the
Yes,
$25
thank you, Rick.
super chat.
You.
Love this Wednesday night discussion hosted by three hot ladies.
Well,
Oh, well,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
I mean, that definitely gets it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I have to laugh because I remember the second movie where they went underwater and Beyonce comes out, like her hair's like this, and he's like looking around and she shakes it, and all of a sudden it's back into like the beautiful fro. He's like, yeah, very switched on. I like that.
We love Austin Powers. I mean, it's just a good movie.
It is.
Well, and we don't want to keep you. I know you're a busy lady today, but thank you so much for coming on our show. And tell everyone, and I know Marcos has had your channel in our chat. Oh yeah, there we go. Marcos has had your channel in our chat, and everyone go subscribe to this lovely woman's channel.
Thank you.
But tell them a little about, if they don't know about you, go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, sure. Well, but
Or
before
your
I
channel.
do, thank you, ladies, so much for having me on. You two are wonderful, lovely, and I can't wait to meet you in person one day. And I'm honored you brought me on your show. Of course, I'm Lorena Creole. I bring that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis and keep it real when it comes to theme parks. So I do live streams on several different topics. So I have a couple shows during the week on my channel. First, there's the Welcome to Florida show that's on Sundays, where we talk about all kinds of crazy things about the state of Florida, a state where my family has been there since 1565, actually. So we come up with like history, of course, Florida man and Florida woman stories. Holy crap, we can't get away from that. Theme park stuff. It's just a fun show. We just kick back, laugh, kind of play Florida County bingo so we can see which county has the most Florida man stories in it. That's, kind of thing that we do. Tuesdays, I switch between having the after school special show, which is what I had Natalie. I had Michelle on there last time. I wanted to bring Natalie on, but she couldn't make it. I know, but I have to bring you guys back. No problem.
Yes.
So we have that. And also on Tuesdays, we kind of switch off a new show, Theme Park Geeks and Divas, where we just kind of geek out and talk about all kinds of theme park stuff that we love. Of course, Mondays, well, actually it's 8 p.m. now because we've moved up the time for Toxic Femininity. Okay. So starting next week on Monday, Toxic Fem will start at 8 p.m. Eastern. Little bit earlier, a little bit more convenient for folks.
I like that.
And of course, on Fridays at 12 noon is my lunch table show that I co-host with Fat Steven Seagal, where we just kind of sit down with somebody in the fandom, get to know them, what they're into, their YouTube, their Twitter, all of that, and do a couple of pop culture topics. So that's no, I'm missing something. I'm going to get in trouble for this. Also, you can catch me on the Dark Council on Tuesday nights at 8:30. That's the newest gigs. It's really why I keep slipping my mind. So I produce the Dark Council show. So I'm on there with those guys Tuesdays at 8:30.
And that's a wild time.
And that yes, go back and watch the one from last night. I just, if I didn't love them, I would not put up with their crazy asses, but I do. Next week, I believe it's going to be on Mark, Gospel According to Mark with a C. I believe it's going to be on his channel. So just watch my Twitter, and I would be honored if you would subscribe to me. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Love being here. Love being here. Would be honored if you guys invited me back. It's just been
Definitely
a
will.
blast kicking back with you ladies. And you guys in the chat, please do hit that like button on this video.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And Natalie was on with us that day. She didn't come on Toxic Femme that week.
Oh, okay.
So she did come on your Thursday show after school.
Mhm.
Remember?
Oh, yeah,
we were on there with Fat Steven Seagal.
Oh, yeah.
But you were with me twice that week. It's probably why you thought that. Because
Okay.
I was with you on Toxic Femme that week too, I believe. And she was not.
Okay.
So she has made one appearance.
Okay, good. I'm like, crap.
She's made an appearance. And yes, we'll definitely have you back on. And yeah, we'll have to try to meet with you when we're in Disney. In October.
Absolutely.
Meet in person. It's always fun.
Yes.
And I want to tell everyone in the chat, okay, so you guys be on the lookout. Of course, we'll post a thing just like we do for Wednesday. But there will be no weekly roundup next week because I will be out of town. But we will be doing probably like kind of a chill stream. We'll come up with something fun to do next Tuesday. So Tuesday, 7:00, that will replace the weekly roundup next week. And then we'll be back to our regular schedule. But so that's for that. So just be on the lookout. I'll let you guys know what we're going to do with that. But thank you again so much for coming on, and we'll definitely have you again.
No problem. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And thank you, everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. Have been chatting it up with us. Always fun. And so be on the lookout. Again, we'll do a stream next Tuesday at 7:00, but we'll let you guys know on YouTube and on Twitter when that will be. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.